Good morning, welcome to day 11. We're leaving the rustic retreat. She has a nice garden. Her name's Tatiana. And actually, they did show up last night. They got here about 7 or 8 o'clock. They were out for the weekend, but they're still at Pilgrim's Stay, even when they're not there. That's why they left the note. But anyway, we never did find the hot water last night, so we didn't get our daily shower, but I've gone a day without a shower before, so we'll get one tonight. That's the valley we were in last night before we walked up the big hill to get to Buzan. Those are the little towns. Guess what? We get to walk back down to them. We've come into our first little town today. This is Juzet-d'Izaut. This is the mairie. Nice little building. Over there is the bus stop where I'll sit for a second before we start looking for something to eat here. Hopefully something's open. So we've come upon this little church. The bells just went off at 8 o'clock in the morning. And we had some free water right over there. Woo! And we've seen a bunch of these waymarks, but I'm showing you another waymark because it's the first time we've seen it. It's the yellow arrow. Haven't seen one of those yet. So we've started our climb for today. I just took a break because it's a lot of uphill. That's what a climb is. We started at about 1,500 feet. We're going to go to like 3,200 feet. A couple breaks along the way. How good for us. Here we are in a little town, half up the hill. The église is that way. The way is that way. This might tell us a little bit about this place. I don't know. But yeah, ooh, there's a restaurant there. I wonder if it's open. I could use a coffee. And there's something over there. I can't read it. But it's probably not open right now. What does it say? Nope. Well, it says Marisol Mercredi, but maybe it's just too early. So we crossed one peak back there, and we're coming down into a bit of a valley. And I can hear cowbell, more cowbell. Not a bad view, but we're headed down over there, and there's another peak. Well, you know, it's not really necessarily a peak. We're not going over the peak of the mountain. It's just going over the high point of the mountain, which we do call the summit. And they call the col, C-O-L. But yeah, it's been okay so far. Though I'm running on chocolate. Chocolate is all I've had this morning. And still waiting to find that place that's going to be open with some food. Hopefully the next town. And that's the town that's right before our final climb of the day. After that, it's all downhill. Woohoo! It's right by this nice little farm. There's a fountain. And they have a sign. And someone stacked some rocks, and there's a bench, free water, woohoo! We're finally coming up on our last town before the final leg of our climb. Of course, we're going downhill into it. There it is. Somewhere up there, or over there, or over there, is where we have to go to get to the next summit. We're going to take a break. Hopefully this town has something open for food. We're close now to what we hope is our final summit. I just wanted to show you down. That's the little town. That was coffee stop. Right down there. It's red coffee and croissant. And yes, we're almost to the top of this thing. Hopefully it is our last of the day. We think it is, but you never know. It is the Camino. So we've reached the summit here at Cold or whatever. There's a sign over there. I'll look at it. It says we're at 1069. Which is, you know, what, 3,500 feet? Yeah, so we went a couple hundred feet higher than I thought. But there's the sign over there. It says cold, I can't read it because it's so far away. You know what? I'll just put it on the video and then you'll know. Unless you can read that. I'll zoom in on it. And if you can read it, great. That's it. So we've been going down and down and down. And it's been pretty quiet, actually. A few cars here and there, more motorcycles. We've come across this, and this is actually one of the stages of the Tour de France in 1995, and that's a memorial to an Italian Tour de France bicycler that died here. It's actually kind of neat. Look up Tour de France 1995, Italian. It's not finished yet. I mean, it's almost done. I got all this stuff going on. They're just building it. It's looking pretty new. So look up 1995 Tour de France. And this is the stage an Italian cyclist lost his life. I'm guessing this is the exact spot. And there's Flowers, who was also an Olympic champion. But yeah, this is a nice stage. I mean, the mountains just go up and up and up. So we've come down out of the mountains. We're finally almost at our stop, maybe another mile and a half or so. And we weren't able to find a place for us to stay last night because, well, at the rustic retreat, there was no electricity. We needed to save our phone battery for today. But we did find this as we sat down here, a chambre d'hôte that has a show and a tarif pour pèlerin de Compostelle. And we were going to stay there. We just called them. And so now we have a bed for the night, which is good. It's off that way. We're really close now, closer than I thought. I just wanted to show you the mountains that we were playing up and around in today. Not exactly playing, but that's them over there. Yep, up and down. Well, actually mostly up and then mostly down. So we've arrived in Juzet-d'Izaut. And of course, I mean, it wasn't very high, but we did have to walk up to get here, just to walk back down. This is the Col de Bure at 600 meters. Yeah. Anyway, sign says to turn left. And I know that our place of habitation this evening is on the trail. So we will go left, which of course is uphill because it's the Camino.